Hello, everyone. Hi. It's another beautiful week. I say that every week. The week could actually be horrific and disgusting and everybody could die, but I'll still come on here and be like, it's a beautiful week. Here, welcome to another episode of Hey Girl. It's me, Jordan. Please rate and review this podcast so I can have some quality of life, some serotonin, and hopefully I got a dog I got to put through college. So if you could just give a 5-star and write a little, you could say, wow, Jordan is so wonderful. Her pussy pops severely and mine does not. And for that, I am forever grateful and I worship the diva, the icon. Say whatever you have to. Honestly, I don't even think you have to say nice things in the little review thing. I think you could just put something and then give me 5 stars. Or just give me 5 stars. Honestly, at this point, every little bit helps. And I don't know if people understand that when eventually I intend to get this program monetized. And so as a podcast producer, because I can't afford to pay somebody, I have to do it all myself. You reach out to companies and they want to see your analytics and your ratings and your reviews. And so you have to have a certain, number that they want to see in order for them to give you money. And once I start getting money, then baby, then we get, lots of things can happen. Anyways, something has been bothering me for such a long time, like 5 or 6 minutes since I was peeing and I was looking at Facebook and I saw something and I thought, that really bothers me. And it's like, okay, people who, and it happens mostly on Facebook and Instagram stories, I notice, who ask people on the internet for things that could be solved in like a 10-second Google. Someone will be like, plumber recommendations in Orange County, and go. And I'm like, fuck off, Google it. What are you doing? You're dumb. You're so stupid. Like, how has natural selection not crossed your path and ended you at this point? Is that mean? I don't think so. I'm probably going to say worse things. So buckle up because we got an hour. Yay! It's fine. If you're that person who's like, oh, I need to know like where's a great brunch spot, and you go to Facebook and go, hey guys, where can I go to get brunch on a Saturday? Go. Stop right now. And I don't know if it's just me being the kind of person who just doesn't trust people, and I know I can't rely on people, and I wouldn't, like, that never crosses my mind when I have a problem. That never at any point in the decision-making process comes up. I never think, oh, let me ask the internet. I don't trust you homosexuals. I don't trust you F-slurs. You are not reliable. You bitches can't even meet for dinner. You bitches can't even meet for, like, a little dick. Like, you can't even mobilize for that. What the fuck makes me think that you're gonna recommend an appropriate contractor? Perhaps an ass waxer. That I do need. Actually, anybody cue to me asking anybody for their ass waxing recommendations. I just want to get, a little something done. Well, they gonna do my balls too? Comment down below. Anyways, I'm done ranting because it always comes back on myself, and then I end up like inadvertently reading myself. Anyways, look, it's so stupid. I hate me as much as you do, and I'm here with McDonatella. Hi.
Yep, that's me. Hi.
Not me having my Delta work fucking
I love
complaint.
it. Honestly, I wanted to butt in right away and say that, like, I have an aunt, God bless her soul, but she does this, like, on Facebook constantly, and I had to, like,
Oh my
block
gosh.
her statuses because it's so annoying. And literally, and even her friends, like, kind of, like, shade her. They're like, bitch, just Google it. Like, what are you doing on here? She just wants attention, I think. I think a lot
Yeah.
like, give me attention. I'm gonna go to this place. Like, what should I do? I don't know. It's like, girl, like, come on.
They'll be like, going to Portland, fun things to do in Portland. Baby, stop. Maybe they just want like a trusted opinion from somebody they
Maybe.
know.
Or I think they want everyone to know where they are. And like, hey guys, like I'm over here now. So like, I just want to know, like, where's these brunch spots? I don't know. It's so annoying.
Maybe.
I get so annoyed by that too. So it was nice to hear you go off a little bit.
It's really annoying, and I'm also one of those people where I don't like sharing where I am and who I'm with.
Truly, yeah.
I think it's so cringy, especially like certain drag queens who um and I'll share because I'm not a kind person. It's not really what I'm going for in life. But they'll like pull out their phone and start recording, be like, "Look, it's me," and I will put my hand in the camera and slap their phone. I don't give a shit.
I don't get it. And I mean, listen, I wish, I don't know. Sometimes, I feel like half and half because like, I don't know. I see a lot of queens that like they'll like vacation together. You've seen it,
Yep.
and I'm like, don't you guys get fucking sick of each other? I mean, listen, like I don't want to come off as like a bitter Betty, but damn, like, you need your space. Like I don't understand it. I mean, and maybe I'm just jealous because I don't feel like I have that like relationship with a lot of girls.
Me either. Maybe I want to get invited to Puerto Vallarta to wear Speedos.
Yes.
Maybe I want to do that and then just not speak to anyone. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh my.
I'm That's like a thing though where when I first started drag, I thought, "Oh, this is going to be community, friendship, sisterhood." That was a lie.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know. I have like a handful of girls I feel comfortable with. I'll like reach out to. But yeah, I guess I haven't really found that yet. And I don't feel sometimes I get so insecure going into a dressing room like at a gig or something because I'm like, all these girls seem like they're besties. You're like, hey, like, I don't know. I try to always like greet everyone. I'll introduce myself, and some of them just aren't having it. And you're just like, well, whatever. I'm not gonna like force myself to onto someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same.
But you also get those girls too that you're like, oh, like they're cool. They have their group of friends, and like it's clear that I'm like not invited. So
Yeah, I've had some really gross, like, I hate to say the word bullying experiences, but when I tell people what has happened, they're like, "Oh, bitch, you were fully hazed and bullied by these girls." Where they'll be like, "Oh, we specifically recommended someone else for this gig. We could have recommended you, but we didn't." Isn't that so funny? Like shit like that will be said to my
truly,
face, and when I finally got sick of the joke and I started clapping back, I stopped getting booked.
it's these little Ariana Grande twinks. I tell you, it's the
Yeah.
that's what it.
Okay. Okay.
I
Okay.
Oh my god, girl, I could go for hours. I could go for
Not the
hours.
Ariana Grande Twinks.
It's funny. I live here in West Hollywood, and I work primarily downtown in Palm Springs. I've taken, I had a couple of gigs in September, in Palm Springs, and then I just kind of was like, fuck, like I just feel a little burnout. I don't have anything like creatively flowing in me right now. So I decided to just kind of like take the rest of the year to just kind of relax and chill.
Yes.
And I think that's crucial. I think that like no matter what, I love drag and I love it, but it's also I don't know if I want it to be my whole life. So I think it's like healthy to take a pause every once in a while and just kind of like get your shit back together as for me, for Kaden.
Yeah. It's hard to for me I experience like a ton of burnout where I'm like I cannot physically make and come up with all the things that I would want. Like if it were up to me, I would have a new look every week. I'd have a new mix every week. I would have like, and some girls can do that. Selena S. Titties, I don't know how she did it,
Yeah,
but she could just sew an outfit, make a mix, learn it.
truly.
I
Yeah, I
can't
know.
do
I
that.
have so much respect for girls like that, and I think it's great. I feel like I don't know, it takes me a little bit longer, and I don't want to. I'm not somebody too that I'm like I like to, if I'm going to the same bar for another gig, like I'm not going to do the same three numbers. You know what I mean? Like I want to mix it.
Yeah.
want to give them something that they maybe haven't seen. And I think sometimes I might get in my head too much because I think other times I see girls doing the same numbers that do great, and they're not
Yeah.
worried. So
I've
I think
gone
it's
to, I've done the show I've done a show like a second time, and I did it one time, and I came back a second time, and I specifically did different numbers, and the promoter or whoever was like, "Oh, I was hoping you would do that one number," and I was like, "Motherfucker, I did it last time.
yes,
Why did you
yes.
say something?"
I know.
Jesus.
I'm like, I actually kind of appreciate it. Like, whenever you get asked, and like, they're like, hey, can you bring, I have this stupid ass little Debbie number that I do that tends,
Yes, I love that one.
like, like stuff like that. It's like, yeah, like, you got to tell me what you want, tell me to
Yeah.
bring tap shoes. Tell me, like, what the vibe is.
Sometimes I'll get asked for like somebody was in the audience at a show like a year ago, and then they'll hit me up like, "Oh, my job is the company I work for is doing, and I recommended you. Could you do that one number that you did?" And I'm like, "Oh, that number that I've done 100,000 times. Okay, okay, I'll do that for you." And I'm like dusting off, shaking the fucking mothballs off the outfit. Like, all
Yes,
right,
yes.
goodness.
I don't know, girl. I don't know. That John Cena number is gonna live forever. I
That's
mean,
that's one
it's
of them that I'm like, all right, when are we moving on? And it gets to a point where like I used to do this number, like this Vogue parody number, and I never really understood why it was funny, but people just like piss and fart every time, and I keep getting asked to do it, and I sort of become like Doja Cat doing Say So, like when you see her do it and she's just like rolling her eyes the whole time, and it for some reason it like adds to the experience. People are like, "Wow, you were so funny. You were like rolling your eyes," and you were just like, and I was just like, "Yeah, because I hate doing this. I'd rather
yeah.
do something
You
new and
know,
exciting."
that's my thing. That's literally my thing right now is like, what is your own organic spin on something, right? And like, I just have so much respect and love for the drag queens that truly are bringing something new and unique to the forefront instead of like their whole thing is, oh well, I'm hot, so I'm like, girl,
Oh yeah, Twinks, no body, no hips, no corset, no
I promise
titties.
I'm not a twink hater. I'm not. I promise.
I am. They don't deserve rights.
It just gets repetitive, and I don't know. I like, I absolutely love going to drag shows and just seeing different unique spins on things that I would have never, expected. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Um, it's too. I don't know. I have such mixed reviews because I just think there are also girls that I see that like you see them on Instagram and you're like, oh my God, like they're gorgeous. They have these like editorial photos and yada yada yada, and then they're performing and they're giving us nothing.
And they don't look anything like those pictures.
Like,
Ooh.
oh, I'm like, girl, I may be crunchy munchy sometimes, but I'm always gonna give you a performance. Hello.
Yeah. And I'm not afraid to post the unedited pictures. I don't give a shit. And when I do
Yeah,
photo shoots and stuff, I'll be like, you can like, I don't know, smooth out the hairline if you want, if you feel like there's like a shadow from the lace, but like other than that, I want to look like me.
oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, it is, and it's so obvious. Like, when they see your photos and they're like, "Oh God, is this that bitch? Like, that's you."
Yeah, cuz I mean, you got to post the videos too, and if the video and the photo is not a consistent experience, baby
Truly.
doll. Well, now we can Facetune videos. Now that's a thing. Now the girls
Yeah.
are doing
Oh,
that.
it's scary. Scary.
It's very scary. But I would rather post like a 10-second clip of a number
Mhm.
than pay for like a crazy photo shoot.
Truly. Yeah. Jordan, how did we meet? What? I'm trying to think of like the first time we
Uh,
met each other, and
oh
I
my
wonder if
God.
it was a pickle brunch or if it was like
It
a rock festivalist thing.
I remember the pickle brunch. That was the brunch that I've told everyone this story about the brunch where the dressing room was at a different storefront, and we had
Yeah.
to like walk down the street stepping over homeless people to get to the gig in drag.
Yes, and the security. I just remember a security officer being like, "What the hell? Like, are these like drag queens like like breaking into this?"
Yes.
Like,
And it was like, were you there the time that the show started and we didn't know it had started?
yes,
I think you were there, LaDon was there, Nubia,
yes,
Iman, or was Portia there?
Yeah, yeah.
Gosh, that
Like,
was. Oh my
oh,
god.
oh, that really blasted me back. Yeah, those were like that was definitely one of my first brunches. Um, I started, I mean, my friend, who I grew up with in Iowa, moved out here, and he had been doing drag in Iowa City for a while, but I don't think he was really ready to like kind of start up again. I don't think he really has. But anyway, he put me in drag, and I did one night with Roz Dressfiles, and it was at what was that?
Was it the Fault Line show, the
The
clown
Fault
theme show that she
Line.
had?
The House of Clowns, yes. And it was so
Oh
great. And I had
yes.
like I was working at a jewelry company at this time, and like literally every coworker and like anyone I knew in LA, I had just moved to LA, and the house was just packed, and it was so much fun. And I did Nobody's Perfect by Hannah Montana,
Of course.
and I
American
honestly,
Songbook.
and then I got the bug, you know. And then it was right after that that I did the Angina competition.
Oh,
Um,
the red was it at Redline?
yeah,
And then you won.
yeah. And then after that,
Work.
okay, well, this is cute, you know? And I just wish, I don't know about you, but that first year in drag, like, your confidence is like beyond. Like, nobody can tell
Yeah,
you shit. I was literally taking Elmer's glue, just a little bit of Elmer's glue, putting it around, like, in the vicinity of my eyebrows, and
that's all
just
you
putting
need.
a shitload of glitter on and glasses.
Oh gosh, there were so many like little mistakes that I made during that first year that I know are still affecting me now. Like with that whole Roz Dressfiles thing,
Yeah.
I also was sort of roped into the competition at Rage in West Hollywood, and it was like
Oh,
a monthly competition where like it was me, Hershey LaCour, Karma Lesh, SB Simone, Tamara Simone, like a lot of those girls that are still
uh-huh.
around. We did this monthly competition, and it happened to fall on the same night as Roz's show. And I told the host, I was like, hey, so I can't do it. I have Roz's night. And she goes, oh, well, me and Roz are really great friends. Just tell her and she'll be fine. And I thought, oh, they must be really great friends. I didn't know either one of them really that well. And I told Roz that, and I think it was a mistake. Looking back, it's so stupid. Like, I should have just honored my commitment to Roz and been like, no, I'll start next month.
Yeah.
And so after that, I was never asked back to Roz's show.
Oh, yeah. That's what sucks. I feel like as a baby queen, and honestly, I mean, I still feel like so many things like what gets frustrating sometimes is that like um a lot of people have opinions about you before they meet you, right? Because
Yeah.
they block or whatever, or something goes off on Instagram or whatever, and they see something, and it really sucks because I just feel like um there are just experiences that I've had, which I'm sure that you know about, that like haven't been the
Oh, I
pretty,
know.
haven't been the best, and also, like I can own up to the fact that like maybe there are some things that I maybe, heard out of context, or, got a little bit more upset than maybe I should have. But, it's just it's frustrating when you're just kind of starting out in a community, and you're looking for support, you're looking, to make friends and stuff, and then you just feel like you get like hated on every which way, and you're like, oh my god, like should I even like be doing this? And I definitely went through a
Yeah.
phase almost a year ago, or probably about almost 2 years ago actually, where I just was like, I don't know if this is worth it. Like I don't I'm a sensitive guy, and and some things I'm like, I don't know what I did to you. I don't even know you. You don't know me. Like why is this a thing? Or, even some like girls that I've performed with at Toucans in Palm Springs will be like, girl, you are so sweet. Like I heard so many things about you, like before. I'm like,
And you're like, where the
what are
fuck is
you
this coming
here? Like,
from?
why? Like, I don't know. I'm like, who is this like invisible person that's like, it feels like out to like, like sabotage, and I don't know. It's just frustrating, but you kind of have to let all that slide, and like, you just know that like the girls that you truly make a connection with, like you trust, and like I've been really lucky to have gotten some really cool opportunities through like the friends that I've made.
Yeah. I've started to lean into it where like I'll just be like, "Oh, and what else did I do?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and even if it's a lie, I'm like, "Yeah, I did. I punched her in the face. Don't look at me. I'm a
Uh,
cunt. I'm mean. I'm unlikable. Don't talk to me when I enter the room.
exactly. Yeah.
Fuck
Be
all of
scared.
you."
Yes.
Because it's never that serious, and I don't know. The only really, I think one of the only regrets I have is the Roz thing. And Roz Hernandez, I know she's not listening to this, but I love you and I'm sorry.
Yeah. She's, you know what? She's right damn fine right now with her Hulu show.
I know, I'm obsessed with everything she
Oh,
does. Genuinely, I love her.
and she's, oh my God, she's such a sweetheart. And like, I'll never forget, like, she's not my drag mother. Angina kind of took that, but she came to my apartment a couple times when I first started out to like kind of help me figure out my face and stuff. And she's just a sweetheart.
That's so nice.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that. So wait, you're from Iowa.
I am. I'm from Iowa, Southwest Iowa, a little town called Creston. And yeah, I mean, I was honestly doing drag though, like, from the time I was about 4 or 5. I like, I was a competitive dancer growing up. So I was our studio was like heavily in like tap dance and clogging, but I also did like jazz and contemporary and stuff. And um,
Interesting.
I know it's so funny. Actually, I was just talking to my dad the other day, because both of my parents, like, they're so supportive. But I just remember, like, I was in a baseball league when I was like in second or third grade, and I like begged and begged my dad. I like was like, Dad, like, please, like, I want to be done with this and I want to take a baton twirling class and finish what you start. So like the last like game or whatever, he bought me a baton, which was really
That's
sweet.
so nice.
Yeah, yeah, I'm very lucky. But yeah, no, I mean, obviously it's different. I grew up in a town of like 10,000 people and everyone knew everyone. And, yeah, I mean, but I've been here for almost 7 years now. And yeah, I
Wow.
haven't really changed anything. I love it. I don't know if this is like necessarily home base, but it's kind of becoming that now.
Yeah, LA is very much that kind of place. Do you know Ophelia Bell? She's also from Iowa.
I do know Ophelia. So what's funny is actually her drag sister, Sugar Bell, is the one who like put me in drag for the first time. Which is really sweet.
Wow. See, we really
Yeah,
do all know each other.
I
That is
know.
crazy.
No, it's funny though because Ophelia and I met in college just through like I think I was like I don't even want to say dating. I think I met this guy on Tinder, and it's Iowa, so I mean, there's about 30 gay men. No, I'm just kidding.
I
there's
mean,
there's slim pickings. And
yeah.
anyway, he happened to be friends with him, and so I met him through her. And yeah, yeah, it was kind of cool because we kind of stayed in contact. And then like when she was moving out here, like super excited, and yeah, she's doing great.
Yeah, she's stunning. I just had her on a few weeks ago and I love her. I like her a lot.
Yeah,
I ran into her at a potluck and we had a kiki and a great time.
that's cute. TBT to when we roasted each other. When was this? Was this
Oh my
about a year?
God. It was DragCon. I remember because I was stressed because all the fucking Rue girls were there and I was just like, you know,
Oh, I was too. I was like, wait, what
bitch.
the hell? I
And
was like
they,
ready to go, and the moment like I had like my little opening song or whatever, I came out and I was like, oh fuck, like all of them are here.
I'd had a little bit of a warning before, like earlier that day, somebody texted me and they were like, hey, um, just so you know,
Yeah,
XYZ are going to be in attendance, so do not fuck this up. And I thought, why would you tell me that? Because I probably would have just walked out and done my bit and not really noticed. Because
yeah,
you can't really see, and
totally.
the whole
I
thing.
just
But
I Crystal Versace's face, and I was like, oh fuck, and then I saw, I'm like,
yeah,
oh, they're.
and it doesn't help that I had just like done TikToks with a lot of them the day before at DragCon.
Yeah,
So granted, it did help that they remembered me and they were very friendly, but also I was like, oh fuck, they know that I'm that dumb girl with a microphone running around DragCon, and so if I flop, it's gonna be so cringy. But like right before I went out, one of the girls that I'd known from before she was on the race, she like called me over and like waved at me, and then she tapped another queen who I like Stan, who I actually in college did like I recreated one of her makeup looks before I did drag and posted it and tagged her before she was on Drag Race, and it's very cringy and I feel very awkward, but I'm such a stan of this person, and they like looked over and waved at me because they remembered me from DragCon, and I was just like, I'm thinking about that time in college when I recreated her face, and I can't let her know that I did this. It was just very awkward, but very nice.
Yeah, no, you know what? I felt like we really gave each other a run for our money. Obviously, you demolished at the
Oh,
end.
you know what? We ate we ate the girls, and
We
I honestly
did.
I loved it.
But yeah, Flabbergast was like, you thank God for you guys because I don't know about the other rounds of roasts.
It's hard.
It
It's
is.
tough.
It is, and you never know. And I was like, I remember, like, I think I texted you a couple times. I'm like, okay, well, like, if I say something like this, is it too far, or like, are we gonna go for each other's jugular, or what's the tea? You know?
Honestly, never. As long as it's funny. Honestly, I don't even care if it's like mean. Like, I'm still gonna be the only person screaming laughing at the worst, you know?
Totally. Yeah. No. Same. I'm like, I.
It's never that serious.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
But yeah, I used to do that show a lot because I'm very mean by nature. But it's like one of the only things that I feel like I'm good at and I enjoy. Like I much prefer hosting
hmm.
and like, doing that sort of thing and doing the roasts and stuff over, you know, playing a pop song and lip syncing.
Totally. No, I get that. And honestly, too, I think that's something that's so like, that I admire about you is like you're constantly creating your own content. I
Oh,
mean, this
thanks.
come on, this is so good.
Oh,
Um,
thanks. I forgot
the
about that.
video is
That
so cute,
that
and
like several year long project.
yeah. But even I was talking. I just listened to you and Tiffany's episode, and Tiffany's somebody that I also admire. Like, I mean, these queens out here that are truly hustling and making opportunities for themselves, and I'm like, you know, that's kind of what I'm looking forward to in this new year is just kind of like doing my own thing. I'm like, I'm tired. I'm kind of over like the whole like, hey girl, like I'm available, or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah,
I'm like,
fuck that.
that's it. Like, I want to do my own thing, and I just feel like, you know, as much as like as saturated as it is in LA, there's also like there's so many opportunities for like new things, that maybe don't
Yeah.
have to be in WeHo.
I found in because I used to really be involved in like getting in the clubs and doing the little $50 gigs, and I thought, well, if I can get like 10 of these gigs a month, I'll like be able to survive. But then when I started thinking more outside of that and producing, try at least attempting to produce my own things, kind of like Tiffany, like she's a really great example of someone who can just approach a venue with a proposal and be like, hey, let's do a thing. And once you do that, you will be way more satisfied because you're the creative director, you're in
Exactly,
charge,
your baby,
and you're
like
going to make so much more money,
yeah,
and you won't have to deal with the bullying, the hazing, the stupidity, the drama, the politics. You can just be a professional business person, an artist, and enjoy yourself.
exactly. So I think that's like kind of like where I'm taking McDonatello this next year is just like, focusing on myself and kind of just doing my own things. I love nothing more than to produce like a one woman show. Um,
Yes.
Especially, putting some tap in there and putting some dance and I don't know, just maybe doing a brunch. I've been like hoping, maybe a brunch situation that's not in WeHo, somewhere, a little bit different, but like just like a monthly thing. I don't know. I
Yeah.
other things that I have kind of going on that I've been working on. So, just taking it outside of just the bar scene, which will be nice.
Yes. And I think, too, I've learned working in venues that aren't necessarily queer, but are queer friendly.
Totally.
They're much more, I find, because I have a bingo show that I do that's bi-weekly and out in the area I live, and the people who own the place are the nicest, kindest, most supportive people ever. They're not gay, they just love drag, and they love working with me, and it's like they're the most wonderful people to work with, very easy, and I show up, I do my thing, and it's great,
Which
and they
is great.
care.
Yeah. I think that, they're respecting you as an artist and a performer, and they know that you're bringing something different. Unfortunately, I do think that these girls get used and abused here, obviously.
Yeah.
because if one queen isn't going to do it, then they'll definitely find someone else who will do it for free.
Yeah, absolutely. It's and that kind of made me say, okay, maybe, and it's not like the I'm too good, but it kind of is a little bit of I'm too good. Like
Well, yeah,
I
we put in years of work, and
yes.
we're starting to figure. It's kind of beautiful. I mean, I think about all the girls that I kind of have like come up with. There's a group of people that I feel like we all kind of like started doing shows together, like, and it's kind of cool to see them all kind of flourish and like go their own ways and really figure out who they are as a performer. And I just obviously you have to put in time and a lot of work, and you have to experience a lot of bullshit to get through everything. But the girls
Yes.
holding on, I'm fucking rooting for you. We have so much talent here in like Southern California. It's ridiculous.
It's insane. And people always complain, "Oh, there's too many, there's too many." I'm like, I mean, sure, but also if you have the hustle and if you have something special and unique about you, the universe is going to push you forward regardless.
100%.
What's the saying? The cream rises to the top or whatever.
Yes. Yes. Well, I mean, yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah. I have to talk about your name. Am I fair in assuming that it's Donatella Versace and McDonald's?
So, okay, what's so funny is no. And I've never,
Okay.
it's like, like you think that I would reference the shit out of Ronald McDonald in my drag more if like it was. It's actually, what's so funny is I love, love, love Donatella Versace. And yes, like that is true. But I was thinking when I first started, and I mean, I guess I was a little bit bigger too, so it kind of Ronald McDonald kind of goes with it. But I was thinking more like old McDonald on the farm, because I'm thinking like if
Oh.
I was like a farm girl,
Yeah.
or like from a small town. I think definitely now, I think my drag has kind of evolved to like I'm so kind of particular that I'm like, more of like a 90s, early 2000s, like small town wife vibe, like soccer
I
mom,
see it.
you
Yeah.
know, but still like thinks that she's hot and wants to be a superstar.
Yeah, my other thought was okay. I thought either the McDonald's Donatella thing, or I thought maybe it's like a rap name MC Donatella, because that could be sickening if you ever
Oh
need
wait,
a
I love
mixtape.
that. I love that. I don't know. I like went back and forth. I was just gonna be McDonough because I love Madonna too. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
a little bit like Midwesty. I'm still pissed that like I mean originally I wanted my name to be Sally Wacker.
Oh, I love that.
I thought I don't know I've kind of went through all the things, and I'm not gonna be like now I went through a phase where I'm like fuck, I don't like my name, but like now I'm like what, like I embrace it. It is what it is. And
Yeah.
and maybe one day I will like do a cute little McDonald's ode or whatever, but right now I'm like no,
Well,
that's not what
you
it is.
get
But it's so
so like.
because when the girls like introduce me, or like when I'm about to perform, they're like, oh, this big juicy like fish fillet of a queen McDonald's.
Not the
I'm
fish
like,
fillet. What the fuck? Of all the sandwiches.
yeah, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I mean, just you know if you can't fight it, you better just give into it, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I'm fascinated by clever drag names, and I think of really funny drag names all the time because my drag name is just my name, which is fine. But sometimes, like I was at like a pop star asked me to be, their management asked me to be at their concert. It ended up being a meh experience. But when I got there, they were like, "What's your name?" And I was like, "Jordan." And they go, "No, what's your drag name?" And I was like, "Jordan." And they were like, "What?" And I'm like,
Can't be like,
I don't know if
yeah,
you're comprehending. That's my name, regardless. And people are always so disappointed. They're like, "Oh," I'm like, "Sorry,
oh,
my name can't be like Dilly Dally or whatever the fuck, Whippersnapper, Lisa
oh.
Newcar."
Yeah, I know. It's so funny. It's funny how everyone kind of like, some of the like, you see some girls and you see like their names and you're like, what the fuck? Like, this has nothing to. I don't know. I feel like
Yeah,
when people hear my name, at least I think they have an idea of like what I'm about.
Yeah, I always laugh at like the really like pageant names.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I
Like
sometimes wish that my, name was like something Davenport, Michaels, Williams.
yes, it's like Victoria Fantasy Diamond Elite. I'm like,
Yes,
girl, shut the fuck
yes.
up.
No, but I live for that. I know. And it's so funny because I remember, I don't know. It's so funny too, like how, like, I don't know, when I first started drag versus like now, like I just have such a bigger appreciation for it. And I'm like, I live for like the long names. And I
I
think before
love pageantry.
it's just full of herself, but I love it. I love, love,
Yeah.
love.
I've really adopted a lot of that like old school mentality into what I do now, and I find that there's a lot to be learned about proportion and like the polished detail of it all, the sparkle, like the pageantry it's gorgeous.
Totally. One thing I admire about you is you always you have a gorgeous face in your
Oh,
eyes. You
thank you.
have the eye, but like a bitch you can wear your makeup and look great with a flat wig. I can't. I don't do flat wigs.
No, you don't like a human hair pussy
Girl,
moment?
no, my head will eat it. Like I just like I look so like if I don't have big hair, I don't feel like I'm in drag. For
You
me.
know, there's another queen on my podcast who has told me that, and now she is living her human hair fantasy. But we've approached the halfway point, so I'm going to tell you who that
Oh,
was when we come back. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with McDonatella.
Oh wow, hi. My name is Chico. I am a dog. Jordan and his lesbian life partner Joey are my parents. They think I am a good boy, even though I steal their fucking socks. Thank you for listening to my mommy's podcast. Hey girl, don't be a bitch. Rate and review this podcast on iTunes. And subscribe to Jordan's YouTube channel. If you don't, I will find you and take a shit in your bed. Period. Thank you. And let's get back to the show.
Wow, welcome back. We're
you're
here with
back.
McDonatella. Hi there.
Oh my god! So I have to know. Wait. So who?
Wait,
Who are you?
yes. Hmm?
Who are you talking about when you were talking about the human hair? I'm
Oh,
curious.
okay. So, and I meant to address this with her. I saw her at DragCon and I totally forgot to ask her about it. But in my podcast with Laguna Blue, we had like a whole discussion about wigs. And
Oh
she was
yeah.
like, oh, I love, synthetic. And I was like, I love it too. But at that time, it was during COVID. I was discovering like making human hair wigs from scratch, which now I'm over. I'm like, I've,
It's too much. I
it's
know.
expensive.
Even like restyling, like I'm kind of over now. Like I mean, I try so hard because I literally have so many fucking wigs and it's ridiculous. And half of them
Yeah.
are smushed up in like freaking tote bags that I'm like, no, like one day, like I'll like figure out how to like bring her back to life, but I never do. And I
Yeah.
just
And well, synthetic hair is so much easier to bring back to life because it could literally be like a giant ball of just mess, and with a little steam and some elbow
yeah,
grease, it's perfect again.
yeah. But I'm sure human hair is another monster.
It really is. But like I told Laguna Blue, friend of the pod Laguna Blue, the minute you put one on and you like walk around and feel it move and like you feel that pussy cunt fantasy,
Yeah.
now like she has some of the most beautiful human hair in her music video for her song Elwoods. She's wearing this like blonde, like it's gotta be 32 to 40 inches, gorgeous, and she looks incredible in it.
I love that. See,
Ugh.
yeah, I think that I just need thick, thick, thick hair. Even
Yeah.
like I did a brunch I don't know a while ago with Laritza LaBouche and like she had this gorgeous like
Ooh,
blonde
yeah.
human blonde bob and I put it on for shits and gigs for like the curtain call and I was like, oh fuck, bitch, I am living,
It's
so
different.
yeah, it is different. I don't know if I always just think of myself. It's funny. I think of my drag more like a cartoon character than like a a woman.
Yeah. I think I used to think of myself as like, oh, I'm like, this soft feminine fantasy, and now I'm like, no, bitch, you're a clown. Your eyebrows are like in your temple. You're a clown.
Yeah.
It's fine.
No, but you have to lean into it though.
Yeah, it's fun.
So yeah.
I mean, I learned from Gigi Good actually gave me this tip. She said, "Girl," because I was asking her. We talk about hair, and I was like, "You do some fucking fierce hair, and you
Oh
always
my,
have like fierce human hair."
yeah.
Um, she was the one that explained how to do the got to be hairline. You know how you spray it
Yeah.
and you blow dry it. She's the one that showed us how to do that, and it changed my life. But she also was like, "Girl, I'm just buying these cheap Amazon wigs, and I'm putting a bundle of hair in them and just dyeing them myself."
Yeah, no, and I mean that's what she does. I just wish I could have her like little tool book of like how she. I mean, I just saw something the other day. She like went to a premiere or something, and you know that like the new trend right now is like those like putting chain pieces in your hair.
Yeah,
Like so, like you like cut off a little bit of hair, you put the chain on, and then like you know sew in whatever
yeah,
another
it's
piece.
like woven through or something.
Yeah,
How do
yeah.
they do
I'm like,
that?
God, so fucking cool. She's just so fucking cool. I will say. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I met her. We did this party called Madam's Apple, and this was I think she might have just maybe just filmed her season or maybe was going into filming it. But she just was the sweetest freaking human and just like made an effort to like kind of have a conversation with everyone there, and this was so sweet, and like anywhere she could help she would, and I don't know, I have a lot of love for her.
Yeah, I always appreciate queens because in the beginning when I first started doing drag, I didn't have a really like wide vernacular of what drag was or what LA drag was
Totally.
doing. So I was just sort of doing what I thought was cool, and I found a lot of people who just didn't get it, or didn't think it was fun or nice, or were judgy about it. And she was one of those girls. And there's a handful of girls that when I started, they were just never judgy. Like
Yeah.
it always felt like they were genuine when they would say, "Oh yeah, that was cool," or "Oh yeah, that's fierce." Like where other girls would just be like, I don't get it." But
Totally. Yeah, no, for sure. I feel like I get that a lot. I mean, I like that's the one thing I do pride myself on is just kind of staying true to like what my vision is and not really kind of like conforming to anyone else's opinion, because I know there are definitely girls that are like, "Oh girl, like you really want to show all that chest hair, girl." And I'm like, "Yeah,
yes,
dude, what the fuck?" You
of
know?
course.
I'm like, I'm serving something different. I mean, I don't know. I like, I just I try to hold space, especially like there's a difference I think too, like of I've became pretty close with a couple really older queens in Palm Springs that like they just have their certain cut idea of like what is a female impersonator.
Oh yes.
You're like, okay, and then sometimes I like some things they say, I'm like, oh yeah, like the way I cut my crease or something, like, oh great, thank you. But then other things are like, girl, you need to shave that chest, you need to do this. And I'm like, I'll do me, you do you, boo.
Yeah, I've had moments like that with older queens where I'm just be like, no, and they'll be like, okay, and I find that they respect you more.
They do. I think
They
they
do.
do. And especially like, I don't know. There's uh I think that they just try to help in their own way, and you give a little, take a little. I definitely like when I go into dressing rooms and stuff, like I am always paying attention to like if there's a girl that I'm like obsessed with her face or something, like I'm not afraid to ask her the questions. Like some girls I feel like they're like, oh god, like I don't want to talk to anyone or like whatever. I'm like, no, I want to know like what is that white that you're wearing that's like so that pops out, like
Yeah,
know all these little things, because I'm like, you're not going to grow if like you don't ask.
and these bitches
But
like
I
to
hate girls
gatekeep.
too that gatekeep. Yes, they'll be like,
Girl.
oh girl, no, I don't know. It's just something. I'm like, no, bitch, tell me what the fuck it is.
Yeah, and I'm like, you're so afraid of me figuring out what liquid
Yeah.
eyeliner you use and then
Like what?
ruining
You're
your
not all
career.
your jobs because I figured out that liquid eyeliner. Like,
Baby, when we go to CVS and find that same liner, bitch, you're done.
uh,
Hang it up. You're fucking done.
exactly. I don't understand that. That's one thing I just never like. I just, I don't have any patience for anymore. I think I used to just kind of tiptoe around, but now I'm like, fuck this. Like, if you're gonna be a bitch, like, whatever. I won't try anymore. I won't like, I'll stand clear of you.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm out here like, this is how I do everything. Like, I'm on TikTok, like, this is what I'm
Yeah,
using. This is me doing it.
exactly. No, and that's what I
Like,
love. like that's what it should be. It should be building each other up. I think that like the moment that people see you maybe as like I don't know. I don't know if like I drive myself crazy sometimes of like thinking of the way other people think. So it makes sense to me. And
Yeah.
sometimes you just let it go and you're like, they're just a bitch. Or they just, you know, I don't know. They're going through something right now. So
Yeah.
just has nothing to do with you, you know?
These are, insecure, mostly gay men in wigs.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But
Uh,
no, yeah.
Wait. I have to talk about tap dancing
Yeah. Girl.
because I'm here to confess. I went to school for musical theater, which required me to take 3 semesters of dance, and one of those semesters was tap. And I didn't show up for a month of the class because I forgot I was in the class, and I still got an A. And I can tell you right now, I cannot do a flip ball change.
Flat ball change.
That bullshit. Yes, a
You
buffalo,
got an
whatever.
A. Oh my God.
I mean, I bet if I like needed to, I could probably. But like you've been doing it since a very young age.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I was doing like dance moms dance competitions like
Fierce.
from like the time I think I was like what 6 or 7. And yeah, I mean, I just like that was like my one. I mean, it still to this day is like my true passion, like over everything. Like I love performing, I love acting, I love, and that's kind of what like drag kind of like took everything over for me because I was like, oh my God, especially when I found out I could bring out the tap shoes and like my clogging shoes. I do not Irish step dance. A lot of people get like that confused with the other
Oh
two.
yeah, that's a weird like thing.
Yeah, but
People are
once
dumb.
I figured out I could like kind of morph everything together, I'm like, oh fuck yeah, like this is absolutely my jam. You know?
Yes. I love when people who do drag figure out that like, wait, drag is just the outer covering. I could literally do anything I'm already good at and just do it in drag and it becomes
Totally.
fierce.
Yeah, and like you know what, some girl, and that's the thing, and I don't know. I guess like gosh, I think I've done a lot of like I've really gotten into this is so like cheesy, but I this last year I think that I've just like I've really gotten into like meditation and like just kind of like doing a little bit more like just spending a little bit more time on myself and like the more I realize I'm like oh my God, like everybody has a place, like there's things that you can be good at and there's things that you can suck at. And it was really funny, I was just listening to Delta Works podcast with Bianca Del Rio,
Oh
and Bianca
yeah.
kind of mentioned like she's like like I can fucking like go off on a microphone, but like I'm not like I'm Trinity K. Bonet can fucking dance the house down, and like I mean everybody has their little special thing and they can thrive on it, and it's like focus on the things that you're already kind of good at and like just kind of work on that, and I don't know like
Yeah.
besides like trying to be something that you're not ever going to see me death drop. I'm sorry, I like value my hips way too much to ever do that, you know.
I'll do it once and that's because it was an accident and it's actually the last thing I'll do because I'm
Yeah.
dead. I've passed away.
Yeah, I'm just like kind of over that. I'm like like I'll let the stunt girls be the stunt girlies. I'm not gonna act like I can do that shit anymore. I'm paying my own health insurance now, bitch,
Yes. And I went through that phase too where I was like, oh, maybe I should do this and this and this. And then I was like, wait, why don't I just do what, like, I always do out of drag just as a person? I love internet humor and I love being a troll. And so I was like,
Yeah.
just do that in drag. And then you have that epiphany, like, oh, well,
Oh,
duh.
fuck yeah. Like,
Yeah.
you feel like yourself now. I mean, you don't feel like, I mean, I definitely feel like the first couple of years of drag, I definitely was just trying to like morph and see like what box I fit in, and it wasn't any
Yeah.
fun.
We all have to go through that phase that like I think I've been doing drag for almost 7 years now and I'm just barely in the last like year and a half, like finally figuring out like, okay, this is who she is, this is what she does, this is where we're going. It takes
Exactly.
time.
It does. It does. And it's nice. I mean, it's as much as I like, talk about like how there's a whole bunch of bitches and a whole bunch of fucking horrible goblins out there. There's also
Mm-hmm.
amazing people that like really do kind of like support you and help you figure it all out too.
Yeah, and the other people come and go so quickly.
Totally.
It's like,
And I mean, you
okay,
have to focus on yourself. I think that that's the thing about LA too, is that like we all know each other. All of us girls kind of know each other, and it's like it does feel. Isn't there a little part of you that feels like it's a little high schooly sometimes? Because
it is
you got
very that.
like the Long Beach girls, you got like the downtown girls, you got like the. It's like everyone kind of sticks in their own little like and there's some that like morph in between them, but it's very few that you see kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
I just think it's so funny. I mean, it does feel very clicky sometimes, but the girls that are going in between everywhere are the girls I like to hang out with because then they're the ones that like
Yeah.
really kind of just focus on themselves. I think an amazing example too is like Joe Lopez. Bitch,
Love.
she is so fucking professional. She's so sweet. She's just so loving. Like I can't say enough about her just because, and she's hustling too.
Yeah. You can
Yeah.
tell the drag queens who are performers before drag, like the ones
Oh, one.
that went to school and like, grew up performing because they understand like the etiquette of like networking and get, especially with drag, like you can be close but like not too close. You got to like remember. And this one queen, she no longer does drag and I miss her doing drag so much. I love her. She gave me the most sickening advice because I was getting my feelings hurt a lot because queens were being mean and I thought they were my friends, and then they would like, take gigs behind my back, or like it was just very like shady things. They would specifically say not so nice things about me to get someone to not work with me, to work with them instead. Just like not nice things. And she was just like, "Girl, these girls are not your friends. They're your coworkers.
Yeah.
So you have to adjust your expectations and be careful what you share with people. And just remember that you're at the office, and that's that."
Amen.
It changed my life. So
Yeah. No,
smart.
good advice. Wow. Yeah. And it's true. I mean, but you can't help. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the little kid in you, like, you see all these girls like doing everything together, like, and you're like, oh, like I wish I had that. But I do. Like I feel like I'm very thankful. I'm really close with Antibiotics and like Portia J and like, there's a
Yes, I love them.
couple of girls that like I just really like know that like they'd be there for me and they do, and that we just build each other up. And I love that. I consider you one of those
Yeah.
girls.
I hope to be. I really try to, because I've had so many horrible experiences when I came up where I didn't really know anybody. So now, like, I try to be as available as possible. But also, like, I understand, like, some people are, hesitant. So I
Mm,
try, I try not to read too much into things, and I'm just doing my thing,
of
supporting
course.
everyone.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, look how wholesome we are.
I know. Look at me. Wait, let me.
I
It's
really
been like
brought the
17 minutes since I've been a
podcast.
raging asshole. I need to be really mean. Who do we hate?
Oh my god.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh. Wait, I need to ask you about the 8th annual Ed Asner and Friends Celebrity Poker Night, because allegedly you were the red carpet host for that.
I was, yeah.
What? How did that happen? That's so cool.
Yeah, no, I got really lucky. So, I guess I don't really talk about this, but like another huge passion of mine that like my boy job is I'm a behavioral therapist. So I like work with kids on the spectrum, and I the Ed Asner Foundation. It's just always been kind of near and dear to my heart, and I got an awesome opportunity. I mean, one of my clients' dads was like kind of directing the whole thing, and I just kind of had a little bit of an in there, and it was great. I mean, it was so much fun, and it was just like so cool to be a part of like something that's such a big fundraiser for that foundation. And yeah, I don't know. That's another part of my life that like I'm so grateful to be able to do here in LA as well. So really, I mean, that's kind of the thing with like with drag and with acting and with dance, and also working with these kids. It's kind of like it's just super fulfilling to be able to do every little thing that I want to do. And I feel like these are like, I mean, LA is kind of one of the cities that kind of allows me to do all that. Yeah.
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 You know what the what is it the saying, the intersection of talent, hard work, preparedness, and luck is where everything sort of happens. And if you find yourself in the right place at the right time and you're prepared and you've done the work, anything can happen. And especially with drag, I'm shocked at the amount of places that drag has taken me just on a
Absolutely.
whim. You never know.
Yeah, and you never know, and that's the thing, and that's like the really cool thing about LA is that like you never know who's watching you, or you never know like who's freaking. I don't know. I've done so many weird little private events lately. I did a baby shower and stuff for an actor, and like I don't know, it's just like it's just so weird how like oh well, my sister saw you at this brunch and just really loved it, and yada yada yada, and like
Yeah.
so many opportunities for networking here, and like just yeah, you're right. I think that as long as you have like your kind of eye on your I realized this. I think that like this last year I've just really realized like that I am like against myself. As much as cheesy as that sounds, it's like kind of the truth. I mean, you're not competing with anyone. You got to stop looking at it that way because I think it just brings your whole vibe down.
Yeah, it gets overwhelming. It's
Yeah,
hard.
it is. Yeah.
But I'm amazed at how many times I'll do like a random club gig and think, whatever, no one's gonna care, no one's gonna show up to this. And then someone in the audience is like, hi, I'm an executive at such and such. We really love that stupid prank phone call John Cena bullshit you did. Could you come do that at our corporate whatever? And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yes, I
It's so
know.
crazy.
It is. It truly is. And like, yeah, just the random people that like you just never know. And that's I don't know. That's a cool thing. I guess that's everywhere, but so much more here in LA.
Wow.
Now, where are you? Are you in LA? Do you live in LA, right?
I'm
Or
in
no?
LA County,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I'm hopefully moving closer, more west, hopefully in the next couple weeks. It's hard. I mean, we've been like looking
It
at
is.
places, so
Yeah.
fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's exciting. I live in West Hollywood, and as I was moving in, it's so funny. I like telling the story. I have this landlord. He's like super. He's Russian, and he's like maybe in his 80s. And I was bringing in my wigs, and he goes,
Oh.
"The hell." And he's like, "I thought I got rid of the drag queen," and I was like, "Wait, what?" Found out that Six, the drag queen Six, lived in my
Oh.
I was moving in as she was moving out.
Wow.
See?
I love Six.
I know, she's great. But anyway, I'm like, oh my God, like, of course.
That's
Um,
iconic. I've I think when I moved into this place, the guy who came in to install the Wi-Fi, because apparently I couldn't do it myself. I needed to have somebody there. Like there's like
of
a thing that
course,
they
yeah.
yeah. So he saw all the wigs and he was like, "Oh, are those yours?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh," and he starts telling me this story about like his brother or somebody he knows who's a photographer who takes pictures of drag queens. And I was like, "Okay." I'm
Hmm.
very like, "Okay,
Isn't
is
it
what like
interesting how they always try to make a connection though? Like I just feel like straight men, like I, the amount of times that like they'll be like, oh my God, like you're gay? Like, oh, like I have a friend Tom who's gay. Do you know him?
yeah," and I
Yeah,
and
we all
I
know each
I
other.
appreciate it because I'm like, "Oh, you're being kind. Your intention is kindness,"
Yeah.
but it is very awkward sometimes and I'm just like, "I just want to change the subject."
Yeah,
Or like an
yeah.
Uber driver. Have you ever
Oh
Ubered
my
in
God.
drag by yourself?
Yes, yes.
Scary.
Yes. I actually like I'll never forget. I mean, I do not like I do not do I'm not freaky when it comes to drag. And
Okay.
if
Me
you know
either.
yeah, I'm
Yes.
like I'm literally dressed up as a clown. Like,
It's
what are
so
you? I
weird.
don't and like all these like I just have so many tidbits everywhere. I'm like, no. But anyway, yeah, like I did have like one kind of scary experience with this guy who like picked me up from a gig at Precinct and drove me back to West Hollywood, and like literally like right before like we turn onto my street, he like pulled over. He's like, "You're just so hot." He's like, "Is there, And he like tried to make a move. I'm like, I'm like, can you please like let me go?" Like, yeah, that was a scary
Wow.
situation. And I was in like a yeah, I mean, I was wearing something wild, and I'm just like, what? Like, this is what you're into? Like, okay, But at the same time, I will say there's nothing that like boosts your confidence more than like some like middle-aged man on Facebook like saying, "Hi, baby," like you are so
Yeah,
gorgeous,
show
you
me
are
your
so
boobies.
beautiful. I'm like, I am serving.
Yes. Okay, but if that situation were to have happened and you were out of drag, would it have been a different ending?
With that particular Uber driver, no.
Yeah. No. Oh, well, all right.
Although there is like I mean, I can't lie. I mean, of course, there's like you have I mean, that would be hot, like with the right person. I think that would be kind of hot.
I
But
think it would be hot if I was out of drag and the Uber driver was like, you know, there was a
like,
connection there.
yeah, yeah.
I was in an Uber recently in drag, and the driver kept looking at me in the rearview mirror for like an uncomfortably long amount of time, and I kept like looking up and looking back, and I thought, oh my god, is this how this happens? We keep making eye contact, and then it becomes like
Yeah,
a thing, and
like
he
a
was
hand
like this.
going down. Like,
Yeah, yeah, he was like this older guy. Um, he was probably like in his 60s. He must have been like married or something, and there was just maybe like a fantasy or something going on. Maybe he thought I was Hayden Panettiere or Brie Larson.
of
I don't
course,
know,
totally.
because they all do. But
Yeah,
I was like, okay, don't make eye
nice.
contact. Because it's like the mechanics of it, it's never going to be exciting for me. And I don't want
Yeah.
to mess up my face. I'm uncomfortable. I'm hot. Just, no.
Yeah, no, I know. That's literally I tell anyone. Like, I do not like. I mean, I prefer, honestly. I mean, I guess unless I'm dating somebody, but I kind of prefer to go to the gigs like by myself, only because I'm so fucking irritable. Do you get that way?
Mm,
Like when you're
yeah.
like getting for a gig and you're just like so stressed, you start sweating, all your makeup's starting to run, and you're like, God, I'm not even there yet. And you're just like in I don't know. I tend to get really pissy. Like I don't know. I think that maybe I'm too hard on myself, but I'm like, if my face isn't like looking amazing, then I'm like, no. Like I don't know. I get
Yeah.
a little irritable.
I've learned to like check those feelings when they happen and go, no, no, put it away, and
It's
just,
fine.
you know,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
laugh about it. But I do and sometimes I will say like, "Oh, I'm in pain. I'm just being irritable.
Yeah.
It's fine."
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the thing. That's what I've also noticed too. I don't know about you, but if I have like a good 3 hours before a show, my face is going to look like shit because I'm going to overcorrect everything and then I'm going to ruin
Yeah.
everything. If I have like 45 minutes, bitch, I'm looking great, and I'm out the
Yeah.
door.
It looks the same or better than when I spend like 2 hours.
100%. It's too
And it's not
much.
like I don't change it up. I just do the same shit every time. I do the
Yeah.
same 3 eyeshadow colors, but I'm trying to change it up because I like to get ready on like and film it for TikTok, and I feel like I'm doing the exact same eyeshadow and exact same lips, like everything the exact same every time.
Girl, if you know what works for you, you know what works for you. I know I don't really get too insane. I'm always doing like a smoky purple. Like I'm always doing a smoky purple.
Yes.
And I mean if it's what works for me, it's what I feel the most pussy in. So
Oh yeah, I love a beige face. I'm always like orange, brown, everything
yeah.
smoky. I love like beige.
I have to ask, when was it that you made the transition with the eyebrows? When you decided they're
Oh, it was during COVID. I shaved them because I was like, no one's gonna see me for months.
yeah.
We're all gonna die. And then
Of
I
course.
was, because I was doing like YouTube recaps of Drag Race season 12, where like every week I would dress in the runway category and like talk about the episode. And then nobody watched it. It was stupid. But then I had to go back to my day job, so I let them grow back out. And then I finally shaved them again when I discovered the tattoo eyebrows.
Those are game changers.
They're so fierce, and I
Yeah.
actually prefer them.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just don't wear them.
I don't know. I get so every once in a while, I'll be like, oh my God, let's just fucking do it. Just fucking like my intrusive thoughts will be like, just shave it off. Cause that's like, my biggest like thing anyway. But ever since I started using like I literally don't use Elmer's glue anymore. I use Pros Aid for my eyebrows.
Ooh, that stuff's good.
It is good, but it like I don't know how good it is on your skin, but it's good.
Well, we'll find out in about 40 years when we finally
Yeah,
have like research.
yeah. I'm not gonna
Until
be
then,
able to do eyebrows anyway. Yeah, no. I always, but I do. I think about it like constantly. I'm like, should I do it? Should I do it?
the only thing that I did not anticipate was the first time when I shaved my brows when I was drawing an eyebrow. I was like, I don't know because I don't have the guide anymore
Yeah,
because I
like you
used
don't
to
know like where
follow.
to it.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I would follow the line of my brow and I'd be like, okay, I'll start just above it and then go up. But
yeah.
now I just fucking like, I go
I
all
love
the way up. I think my eyebrow ends up like right here,
yes.
and then my
Oh,
eyelid goes like that, and it touches. It goes
yeah.
about to right
Brows are all
here.
like hoity-toity. I used to like there are so many things. I think about all the stupid shit I did when I first started, like trying to get all those like stencils and stuff, and like
Oh
nothing ever,
yeah,
So I was just like, fuck it, and yeah, I never know where my brows are gonna be, but that's like the start of like whether or not I'm gonna have a good night or not. Like 'cause the moment I put my brows on, I'm like, is this gonna be a.
yeah. I always say, is this gonna be a good brow day,
Yeah.
or is everybody gonna die?
I'm always gonna look like I feel like I look like this in most of like
Yeah.
you know,
Usually,
one
this
brow.
entire side of my face, my left side is always better. For some
Same.
for some reason, I don't know if it's because I'm left-handed,
Uh-huh.
but every time this entire side, everything just works out
Always
beautifully, and
looks
there's
so great.
always
And
just a
like, oh,
little something off about this side.
it's so fun. You know what? We are so hard on ourselves though, because like there are so many times where I'm like, I fucking hate the way I look and yada yada yada. I don't want to take any photos, and then I look at a photo that my friend tagged me, and I'm like, wait, I was kind of serving.
Oh
Like,
yeah, there was a picture that someone took of me recently that I will show you, and I thought, and I'm certain that she put a filter on it, but this was one of those days where I was like, fuck, my face looks so crazy, and I just wasn't feeling it. I was in a rush. It was just a mess. But then she tagged me in this picture that we took together, and I truly don't know what it was, but I thought, wow, that's one of the best pictures, like from the front facing camera on Snapchat.
yeah.
Look at like, oh damn
Oh,
it! Wait, is it not
uh,
gonna focus? I thought,
yeah.
wait,
That's hot.
but I mean, it is a filter, but whatever that filter is, she was correct because
Damn.
I did not like my face that day.
I'm curious, what foundation do you use?
I use Dermablend.
I do too. Yeah, that's what I thought.
I just feel like the shade range is embarrassing and they need to do better.
I agree.
But the cost per ounce is what gets me because it's a 3.4 ounce bottle, which you can still travel with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like $30. So the cost per ounce is basically a drugstore foundation price.
Yeah. No, it's great. Yeah, I once I went to Dermablend, I don't went back to anything
And
else.
I paint
They
like,
still sticks and stuff. I don't really fuck with those anymore.
no. I have a friend who uses like the Estee Lauder, and I'm like, girl,
I know, no, girl. Oh my god.
I use too much. The bottle's like that big. It's tiny.
Or like the Dior. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like,
We're not real women here.
yeah.
No, we can't. And I like to paint my body too, especially if there's like if I'm gonna be on camera or something and I want to make sure that everything's even.
Everything. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to like go from like your like tan cute little self to like the whitest fucking like. And I see
Yeah,
that. Mm, yeah.
it's gross. Oh my God, can you believe we're approaching the end?
Oh my god, Jordan, I'm so glad that we did this. I'm glad
Me
that it finally worked out.
too. Yes, it's always like it's always tricky because everybody's fucking busy. I'm fucking busy. And that's why, I used to do in-person episodes and it just got to be so difficult because it's
Yeah,
just like and I'm also kind of far from everybody, so it's like I would drive an hour and then drive an hour and a half back.
yeah,
It's crazy.
you don't want to do
The
that.
whole day. Will you tell the people of the internet where they can find you?
Yes, you can find me on all socials at McDonatella. McDonatella.
Yes. I put it
Yeah.
all in the description. Don't worry, friends. You can just
Great.
scroll down and tap it. You don't have to type anything. But just in case you want to just go search, we'll have it on the record. Um,
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. This was so
Thank
much
you
fun.
for doing this.
Yeah.
I'm always so grateful whenever somebody wants to talk to me because a lot of bitches don't. A lot of bitches don't. Somebody recently was like, I was talking to a queen and she was like, I don't like doing interviews. And I was just like, because she had like sort of a traumatic TV experience, which
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you who it was after because, you know, she's very open about it. But I've been friends with her for like a little while and we sort of chat back and forth and we'll giggle and we've done gigs together and I've, you know, I've always thought like I kind of want to ask her, and then I did, and she was like no, and I was like no, I promise we don't have to talk about any of that. I won't bring any of that up. We can just kiki, and she's like okay, I'm down, but now she's kind of, I
Like,
feel like in a very kind way has been like, you know, I don't
I-
know, so I'm like, you know what, it's fine. I'm not gonna make you.
yeah.
I just really
Yeah.
like her and I think she's fun, but
I think I know who you're talking about, and I
anyways.
really like her too. I think she
I love her so much. Okay, let me stop before I get myself into more trouble. You can follow the podcast at HeyGirlPod on Instagram. You can also email the podcast at heygirlpod@gmail.com. That's HEYGURLPOD. You can call me at 424-431-1456 and leave a voicemail to be revealed in future episodes. More on that later. You can follow me at Jordan Jayro everywhere. That's JordanJayro. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on social media everywhere. I'm on TikTok. I'm on all the things. I am taking a break from my social media to focus on my mental health. So, wait. No. The joke is I'm taking a break from my mental health to focus on my social media. I've never fucked that up. I'm very distraught over this, so if you could leave a 5-star rating and write a nice review, please do that. Any final thoughts before we part ways?
I mean, no, this was great. I'm
Yay!
hope to see you soon, bitch.
I will definitely be seeing you soon. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you.
And thank you all for listening, and until next time, have a fabulous life. Bye-bye! Play 'em off, audience!
Yay!